Take three. I've recorded this two separate times, and both times my microphone was not working. I can see that it's working now on my other monitor, so we are good to go. Today we're building the Umbral Sands base. We're going bigger, we're going badder. It's going to look awesome. I did a couple test builds in Creative. I know exactly how I want it to look. Now, because I recorded everything without any audio, there's probably going to be some sort of section of me just playing it through while I'm talking about what we built and everything like that. So on top of that, I also recorded that we got 99 crafting, and with all the chit that I earned from 99 crafting, I went and unlocked all the vestiges in Umbral Sands that we're going to craft here in the near future, but I'm saving that for a later time. So before we get into the build, I'm going to show you guys the clip that I made of me hitting 99 in crafting, the first 99 on hardcore, just picking up all the hide that we were buying and selling. There's 99. I'm going to sell the hide first and unlock all the vestiges that Umbral Sands has, starting with the range set and the desert bottoms. I'm not going to craft them today, just going to unlock them. I was going to craft them. I realized I didn't have the materials and I didn't want to turn this video into a farming video because we got a lot of building to do. So there's just me unlocking all the vestiges. Moving to the next camp up in the northwest. Grabbing the mage set and the desert hood. I do end up grabbing those terror bird vestiges as well, but that's at a... I don't think I recorded that. That was just at a later time. Of course, the pop-up menu is taking forever, so I apologize if there's any dead air in here. I'm recording this after the fact, as you know, so I'm just kind of narrating what's happening. But the third camp, just gonna grab the obsidian set and the desert top, and then we're gonna get into the build. This just takes a couple seconds here. Sports drink. Okay. Gonna buy a bunch of sandstone for all the ground sand that I need. Now we're crafting the cave. Quick little test fit. Looks nice. First skill cape on the hardcore. Feels good. Just looking at the current foundation that I put down, this is like kind of the first iteration before I even tested anything in creative. And that's kind of what I came up with the first time. I didn't love it. I didn't really want it to be too like house-like. I wanted it to kind of fit the vibe. And so after I went into creative, I came up with this foundation where I plan on doing 2 towers in the front with a gatehouse and 3 towers in the back with like an ascending altitude build height, if you will. So it's shorter in the back, shorter in the front and taller in the back, with the center tower in the back being the tallest. It ended up looking quite good in the test build, so I decided I was just gonna kind of build on top of what I'd already come up with. I had drawn it out on a pad of paper just to kind of memorize the dimensions for the foundation. And then I just kind of used the proximity build from these chests after I farmed everything up, which took friggin' forever. And here we go with the towers. So with the gatehouse, I wanted to do a 2x2 tower on each side. I think it goes up 4 blocks. And then from there, so I wanted the walls with the details on them to be on the bottom to kind of prevent it from looking too samey. I use that term a lot in building. I don't want things to look too samey, meaning just having the same pattern over and over and over. it just gets boring and it looks weird. So I put a little pattern on the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the basic walls above that. Later down the line, I'm going to go even further and probably add some either windows or some other pattern to the towers so they don't look too, again, samey. So here I'm probably explaining that exact same thing. I don't remember exactly how I recorded it because that was like 2 days ago. But there are the towers with the stairs in place. The staircases are pretty basic. They probably won't stay that way forever, but I just wanted to get them in place. So now they're accessible from the bottom, and my plan was to build a bridge across the two and to have a kind of gatehouse in between on the bottom floor with kind of a grand opening to the base. So I added some walls to kind of fill in that space a little bit because I didn't want the bridge to be too long. And I'm just filling it in with these railings here to kind of break it up a little bit, add a little bit of interest, some appeal to the eye. And I take it the extra mile. I add some of those adamant studded pillars, beams to the frame of it. Again, just to kind of add some appeal to it. And then I do the same across the top. And then I take it an extra step further and I add those rounded sort of corners to the top to kind of make it a rounded entrance. And that's kind of the gist of the gatehouse. I set it to advanced snapping here so I can snap the bridge pieces to the center of the gatehouse just to connect the two towers together. I mess with these railings a bit more. Some of them do get removed and replaced a few times, just getting it to a place where I like it. I only mess with the railings a little bit in the creative mode. As you can see, I wasn't happy with that, so I wanted to test out how to kind of round off the top of the towers. I forgot one of the steps that I took in creative. I added floors, the quarter floors, one layer outside of the tower's perimeter, as you'll see here in a second. And that's kind of where I was confused, but it just kind of adds more of some dimension to it. So here I'm adding those floors to the outside. Gives it kind of a palace look to it, like a desert palace. Minus like the rounded tops of the Taj Mahal, it kind of gives Taj Mahal vibes. It's giving Taj Mahal. Ask anybody. And then I go to place the walls. I didn't want to do walls all the way around the top. I wanted it to be able I wanted you to be able to see into the top with some sort of lighting at the end. I put the lighting in eventually, but so at nighttime it kind of glows. It looks pretty cool. I just mirrored it on both sides, it's the same on both sides throughout all of this build. And I'm throwing on some the castle roofs. At first I didn't think that the castle roofs would look very good, but when I tested it out, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of works. Editor me has a real serious challenge ahead of him. He's gonna have some work to do with that. But there we have it. That's the main gatehouse type deal. Next is gonna be the walls. I'm gonna touch that up. Maybe put some detailing into the corners here. That way they don't have these weird 90 degree angles. Put the walls up. Start on the other towers. And let's see what else. I'll worry about the crafting and the details and everything else in the middle later. And I'll just kind of build this thing from the ground up. So my thought process is have the front towers shorter and then have the ones in the back a little taller, with the centerpiece being the tallest. I think that'll kind of draw the eye, I guess, properly, if you will, to the build. Now the front ones are, I think, 3 high before you hit the top piece there. So I'll do 4 with this and 5 with the centerpiece. That's what, 3? Okay, one more. And I'm about to burn alive here in a second. Oh, I can't reach. Come on. There we go. Can't get any closer. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna replicate basically this shape onto these, minus the bridge. I think I might do some sort of connecting piece between the centerpiece and these, but let me kind of flush it out. I only did, you know, very bare bones in the creative version, so I'm just gonna go check it out, see what I can do. Okay, towers are in, stairs are in place. I think the placement on them is fine, honestly. And then I guess it's just gonna be the middle tower, and then we'll connect them up. The middle tower, I'm thinking, is actually going to be utilized. Maybe like bedroom at the bottom. I might even push it out one more. But yeah, bedroom at the bottom. Maybe some sort of decorative thing in the middle that'll connect all the way across from here. And then it'll have a top piece like that. Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense. Three, 4, 5. I'm already out of water. I just filled up, didn't I? Am I officially out of water? Nope, 1 stack to go. And now we're out of water. Okay. So I get to go press E 1,000 times at the lake. Cool. But either way, this is gonna be sick. My poor keyboard. 800 water later, that E button is used and abused, I'll say. Let me tell you, okay? Now, with these towers going up, the roofs going on, that completes the most of like the structural part of the base. There lies one issue, and that is protection from the sun. Now, under roofing, the Umbral Sand set here only gives you these awnings. Now, I could utilize awnings, make them look cool, almost like a bazaar, if you will, like a marketplace where it's like awning over here, whatever. And then in the center, I don't know if I'm gonna put the storage here or the lodestone here or both. Kind of incorporate the two. That'd be kind of cool. With an awning above that, so I can have sun protection basically anywhere where I may be standing for a long period of time. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. I just don't want it to look too samey, so I might do like checker patterns or break it up with some pillars, something like that. So, but let's cross that bridge when we get to it. Now let's finish building this. Just gonna need some water, some sandstone, and I might need some berries. All right, walls, basic walls. Now again with the sameness, whoops, I'm probably gonna put something in these to make them look less flat and boring to look at. I think these look okay because the pillars kind of break it up a little bit and they're not as tall. So I'll think of something. It's not going to be boring to look at because I have to look at it for hours and hours on end. So the roof, let's do this. Go back to floors, go back to the quarter pieces, and we'll do the outline again. I'm basically just going to copy and paste what I did in the front, out back. Giggity. Man, construction is real slow. Alright, there's that. I'll do it here too, why not? That's as far as I can go. That's fine. Now the staircase in these ones, I may make them look nice. The one in the center is the one that really matters because that's going to actually have stuff inside of it. But I'll worry about that afterward. Now we can do the walls here. Same thing. Do that, that, and that. Leave that one open. That, and that. And then I did it like... I haven't even put those up yet, but I'm going to put them up like probably this. Same thing back here, so we don't fall off and kill the hardcore in the most embarrassing way. And I'll just replicate that. These gotta go. Alright. Now, there lies another issue. Is I'm probably going to have to kind of curve this walkway, which could kind of look cool, I guess, into there. Now, it's only 1 block difference, so I'll figure out a way to make that usable. But I just maybe like a step down. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, like a step down into the center of this, and then a step up to go over there. That could look good. Now, I'll worry about the staircase after, but I will build the top. So let's do the same exact thing. Let's just fill this in for now. And then walls. That, and then the roof. You know what? Let's make it slightly more grand. We'll do the quarter walls, and we're just going to add an extra bit of height to it. And then we'll do the hip roof. 45 degrees. Like so. Now can I fit 2? No, okay, so I'll have to use a smaller hip roof. .45 degrees, flat roof. Now unstable. Now I can fix that. But yeah, that extra bit of height is gonna be... That looks nice. Alright, yeah. Quick and easy solve for that. I just put some beams across the bottom here. Can't even see them, but they're there. And then again, we'll just do these medium hip roofs to finish the peak. It all converges into one spot, so it looks uniform with the rest of the build. Just like that. So now we will see what we can do here. I know that there's going to be a stability issue, but if I go to floors and then we can use the U stairs, step it down one. I can use full. And we'll use the advanced snap. Is that even going to let me connect it where I want to? Probably not. If I connect it there, and then get rid of that, pick up that later. I can go over that far. That'll work. And then we just step down from here. Can I do this without it looking like trash? I think I can. I'm just gonna have to work it out. So, basic tiny walls, they can sit off the edge here like this to kind of cover up that ugly stair, give it some three-dimensionalness. And then I can just toss a wall, right? Just medium walls. Oh, whoops. Like that. Oh, okay. And then I see the vision. I see the vision. We'll go with the thick beams. Right. Maybe here. Yeah, that's something. Gonna put these in the corners anyways, so go all the way up. And then we can use the same. Okay. Okay. Yup. I'm liking it. And then we can just take these all the way across. And I'm on fire. I will be on fire. Yeah, that works. And then if we just delete those, come in here. Go to walls, tiny walls. There's that. And then try to do this before I die of thirst. Door frame. Boom. Just like that. And then something like that. I'm gonna adjust this just a wee bit here. And now what I can do is, since that's see-through, I'm gonna toss one of these in here. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that one bit. And then maybe one of these, like right there. Why not, right? And now I just gotta replicate this over there, and then I can throw these up here as well. And this won't have any bridges, so I can go all the way around with these here, railings. Just like that. Now again, these are going to get some lighting, and going to make these look a little bit more fancy on the pillars here, the towers. So now just to remember how I did it. I think I used this. I did. Got all that taken care of. It's symmetrical. It's looking good. I'm happy with it. We worked out the bridge that goes across. I fixed the stair that was hanging out the bottom there a little bit. Now, probably on to do some detailing, make it a little bit less, you know, the same sort of flat pattern. I think the front looks good for now. As I start to put things up and make this more of a functional base, I'll start to see some things that I may want to add or get rid of or whatever. But I'm going to take a little break and come back to it. Okay, I want to start on the centerpiece here. So I was thinking I can incorporate the lodestone with the storage area. So if you take out these foundations there, we can't really go down, so I can't really sink the lodestone into the ground. But what I can do is raise it up a bit. So if I was to do, say, so we have a lot of squares, right? This whole place is a square, all the towers are squares. So to kind of break it up and not necessarily put it into the square hole, I can put a rectangle in. And I think if we make it a through and through, man, so if I do make it a square, my thought is to kind of raise it up a little bit, have chests on either side, that way you can walk straight through. I just want to have enough chests to store everything. Let's give this a shot. So, we'll go foundations. I wish I had flax. I could switch it up, but I can do that later. I'm gonna turn snapping off. Try to line it up best I can. I gotta take the Avis off. The chicken is killing me. And we'll raise it up. Let's try that much. Let's just see how this looks. So, okay, you need to go over more. A little overhang there. Fill in, there's like an outer edge to the foundation. It's that solid kind of clay color. I'm going to have the bottom piece of the foundation kind of overlap that. And then we'll snap these on. Yeah, that looks much better. So it's raised up, but not too much, but it still breaks up the kind of flatness of this. And let's see if it actually is going to look good. So we'll do that for now, and then I'm going to move the lodestone in. Try to center that. And let's play around with it a little bit. I'm not 100% convinced on the height yet. I don't want the walls to cover up too much of it. I kind of want it to be like an open concept. Ideally, this would be a rectangle. bring it out one more in this direction. That leaves 2 blocks to walk through here. I guess that's fine. What if I use ceilings here? So, I mean, in this case, it would be rectangular. But I probably don't need a full ceiling, so let's do quarter ceilings. Make sure the pattern lines up. The pattern doesn't line up in the middle, but that's whatever. Yeah, like that. And then I'm gonna put, I only have enough for 1 chest with me. So let's just build the outline first. See if we actually like it. Crazy idea. What if we do this? Oh, that's crispy right there. Now I'm thinking maybe, I think 3 chests could fit here, so we could do 6 and 6. Yeah, let's replicate that. Alright, so we got a little walkthrough action here. It's a little bit raised up, kind of breaks up the monotony of the flatness of it. We can have 6 chests here, 6 chests here. We might even be able to do like 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Or whatever combination. It'll be nice to have the lodestone right here, because if we come back with a heavy load and we're encumbered, we can just drop everything off from the chests here. But 12 chests plus the additional 4, okay, so that's probably plenty. Probably. It's just a matter of organizing it, I guess. But that's a problem for later, maybe. So let's see if we can make this look pretty. Really wish the sun would go away, but let's make it slightly taller. That's always kind of a good way to make things look less weird. Shout out to the Short Kings. And now, I don't know if I have the desert thread for it yet, but we're going to do like an awning over the top of this. Yeah, alright, I like that. So, adamant beams. I might even go with the thick ones, because that one's kind of clipping weird. Let's try the thicker ones. Still clipping weird. It's a little better. Okay, got the beams sorted out. Just toying around with the idea of putting these roof pieces in here. Part of me says it looks pretty good. The other part of me is like, just kind of meh. But I'm gonna leave it for now. I just kind of got to figure out how I want to kind of cap this off. I'm thinking Maybe if we stick to the whole beam theme. And then just lift it up a little bit. And then do an awning that kind of overhangs the outside a little bit. I'm gonna have to get desert cloth, but yeah, that's not cool with me. That's it. So yeah, like maybe an awning hanging over the top. I think that could look good. Let's try it. So this is all I have enough for right now. It's gonna take a bunch more farming to do the desert weed and all that stuff, but my thought with this is to do the outline like so, and then I'm gonna bump these up one more and just fill in the middle, so it's kind of got a taper to it because there's no available awnings with tapers. It's just the flat ones. So I'll do that. I might even do like a blue-red checker pattern just to kind of break it up, but we'll see. So I'm gonna need a ton more desert cloth, which is kind of a pain because I can't buy it from merchants. I have to farm it myself. So slowly but surely we'll get going on that. Got to put the chests in. I was thinking also just to fit more chests in here and to add to the theme of the small ones. To add to the theme. Put the layers at the same height so we can have 4 chests on each side as well. And that may solve the storage issue that I have here. Like that. So 6 there, 6 there, 4 there, maybe even 8 there, really, depending on how much I want to squish it, and then 4 right there. So that'll be plenty. That takes care of the centerpiece. We might want to start getting the crafting stations and everything in and start moving things over from the main base to the new main base. And then I'm going to work on details after that, but it's just going to be kind of like a jump cut for you guys. So one of the ideas I had was to kind of switch it up from doing just awnings to doing these types of roofs here, where I can have some sort of crafting station of some kind underneath. I think I like this. There's enough kind of variety here to where it doesn't clash. It's not too samey. It looks decent. I think this is probably gonna stay. And I looked at the back side as well, and it looks pretty good. So let's take a look from the back. And that looks fine. I think that looks good. Still got to touch up the back end of the towers and got to make the walls look nicer, but we are getting there for sure. Okay, so we're about 90% of the way there. Got the basic outline of this whole thing. Haven't completely finished detailing it yet. Still got to kind of separate each kind of category. Like this is the cooking area. This is the forging area. We've got the blast furnaces out here. Get the crafting area over here. Stone cutters and lumber mills. In here, this is like, these are going to be like my main armor sets. So melee, ranged, magic, and then the desert set. Up here, we've got the bed and the bedroom with just some kind of decor. I haven't really filled it out yet. Like I said, we're about 90% of the way there. Still got to finish that, which requires some more. It's just waiting on the farm over there. But I've moved all the items from the main base, or the old main base, to the new main base. So all these chests are going to start filling up. But that is all the time I have for today. I'm going to finish this off between clips, between episodes, between whatever, just kind of in my free time. I'm going to get this thing finished up. But I got to get this video out today. So I really appreciate you watching. and I will see you next time.